All right, we're done with Peter Gabriel. Cop. Lights on. That's nice. We're done with Panopticon for now. Until next month, and there'll be a new one. Pete has passed the burden on to us as far as the creative decisions. So now we're just going to do a regular schizo walk. When I came up here earlier, there was a guy flipping out. Like, of course. He sounded a bit demonic. I couldn't tell. It's probably what it was, but I was doing a Peter Gabriel review, so I was off the clock. I was off the exorcism clock. But I'm back on it now. We're going to see how things worked out. The good thing, though, is when he was having a flip out, I think he saw it. I don't know if I picked up the security guard, though, but a security guard came out of one of those buildings, which is really cool of him. You don't see that a lot. Security guards usually... if I'm smoking in an area they want me to, they'll run right out. But if one of these street mutants are freaking out, they hide inside the buildings. Whatever. If you're scared, you're scared. I understand. Fear is a thing. Fear is the mother of violence. So, let me light one of these up. Kind of get out of people's way here. I don't like just smoking near people. But they'll still register their complaints from across the street or fucking down the corner. Because, like, they're concerned with my health, right? It's like the bass pig. I'm just worried about you, bro. Fuck out of here. That's probably coming again soon, sadly. I was looking at this Pink Floyd situation on social media. This is a bit cheeky. They're being a bit cheeky. You know, people are like, well, it's they've always had the rainbow and the dark side of the moon. But it's like, yeah, I know. But what is being used here in a provocative way, for sure, because the meaning of it has been completely co-opted. That new beauty standard thing they're trying to push on people. It won't work because people have eyes. But the whole thing, let's get over here just a little bit. The whole thing is that rainbow has been co-opted by the LGBT movement because, and it was done because of what it represented before, which was God's promise after the flood. You know. And now that they've taken it, it's very related to that. Hey, thanks a lot for coming out here, man. You're not on camera, but thanks a lot for coming out when that guy was freaking out.
Oh, yeah.
Because no one does that around here. These guys fucking do whatever they want. And it's like, it's cool to see you come out. Thank you.
No problem.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, that guy came out when one of the street mutants were freaking out. What's going on here? Yeah, I like that guy. That guy's cool. He's been out here a while. The youth player there. He's good too. He's got a good voice. I haven't seen there's a couple guys I haven't seen in a while. There was an electric guitar bro that was he was always doing like a lot of funk and metal stuff. I haven't seen him in a bit. You know, they'll be out and then they're gone and they move around, but I like to see some kind of consistency. It's always nice, you know. Yeah, there was that cop car over there, but didn't look like there was a cop in it. I gotta back off a little bit on them. You know, it's not their fault. They're only able to do what they're told to do, you know, or what they're allowed to do, or what they're allowed not to do. I think that covers it all, right? Yeah, Stinky Beach is kind of quiet. It looked like there's some normal tourists there, and I like the fact that Ukulele Bro is there because it creates a different atmosphere. You know, creates a they won't go around like good things. So like, you know, light, a good guy, you know, playing music, they repel from that, you know. Anything nice or good, evil usually shies away from. I mean, it repels them. In the same way, if you invoke the name of Jesus Christ, man, that's all you gotta do sometimes. And they squirm. They don't like that name, you know. And that's kind of made me kind of reevaluate the whole Christ thing, because I mean, you know, there's always that thing, at least with me, it's like, was he a real guy? Was he an amalgamation of a bunch of different guys? You don't know, because I mean, look at any Bible you have, and look at who edits these Bibles. Goldstein's people. He played one of my episodes the other day, Goldstein on his stream, and I was kind of worried about it. Hey, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Good to see you. Not bad. Can I get one? What do we got here today? All right, nice, man. Oh, thanks, man. Have a good night, buddy. So I was worried about that, because it's a touchy subject, the JQ. You know, you have to approach it in a very, very delicate way. And the reason I keyed in on Adam, well, I mean, really, the day I did that video, I was just in his live stream. And on his live stream, he has the thing for it, the little banner. It's him, like, staring at the Star of David, a glowing Star of David, in an almost suspicious way. So I'm like, well, he probably has a sense of humor about this stuff. So that's why I did the video that I did. It wasn't even about him. It was just like the idea was, lately those people have been getting a lot of shit, you know, the Kanye thing. And it's not all of them, because I grew up with some of them, and I still know some of them. You know, I had girlfriends, bandmates, and you can't judge a whole group by the actions of, even if it's 90% of them, as we see in some other groups. There's a small cabal in his group there. But yeah, so I guess he streamed the episode just to goof on it. I haven't watched it. I gotta watch it though. I came in on the stream after he viewed my episode, but he was like, I don't know what you're talking about. No one knows what you're talking about, which was a relief, because yeah, I could see if you're I could see how someone could misinterpret that. And that's why it's like, that's why people just kind of avoid it. I don't avoid it so much because it's impossible to avoid it, because it's so intrinsically tied to a lot of the problems we're having in the physical realm and in the metaphysical realm. In the physical realm, you have most of the important figures in your government that work with legislature and make the laws. They have dual citizenship, and their loyalties lie with the other country. And there's a case to be made that this place was designed to prop up the other one from its very origins. Because these people had a problem with getting kicked out of countries, 109, by the point that America was put together. And actually, maybe, I think since America came up, they got kicked out of a couple of other African countries. It's funny when, like, people can't even speak their language, but they know enough to throw them out. So what they did with America was like, we'll create a place that will almost be like a resource laundering outpost to help us enrich our country. And that's what they do. So to ignore that, when you're talking about some of the problems that we have here, it's just, I don't know, cowardly. You can't ignore it. And I understand people that are trying to make like a career on YouTube or something, or they don't want to get kicked. I understand that. You know, it's some people's job, you know. But what's worse is when, I don't mind if they don't want to talk about it at all, but when they try to run cover for them, which is something that you see a lot, it's just, it's fucking nauseating. It's nauseating. But whenever I bring them up in regards to something I'm talking about, which is usually what it is, I don't just walk around talking, the JQ, let's talk about the J. It's always because I have something else, a larger point I'm trying to make, or I'm talking about something else that's happening. I'm always very careful to always point out that I'm not painting the entire group with that brush. Speaking of that group, I saw the Black Israelites are out here sometimes. They have like a little stand, and I talked to them before. Those guys crack me up. They crack me up. They have they usually are out here burning incense, but the other night I saw a bunch of them. Me and my wife walked by them on Kahio, with all wearing these shirts. I didn't see what they said, but they're all dressed not in a militant way, but in a very uniform way, and they were carrying a camera, like a nice camera. So they were doing something, I don't know what, and my wife pointed out that it's a bit like if the KKK came walking through with their gear on in a camera, and she's not wrong. But I don't know. I guess Europeans are a lot more easygoing about that. I guess I don't know what it is. There's different rules for different people. It's just how it's not a big issue. But yeah, getting back to the Pink Floyd thing. I don't know if I'd ever put a capper on that. They know what they're doing. They absolutely know what they're doing. They're trying to be provocative. They're trying to start a conversation, and it has. I like the way I just jump around the shit. Fucking totally pro. It has, because now it advertises the Dark Side of the Moon thing, because you have channels that wouldn't necessarily even be talking about a Pink Floyd reissue are discussing it. And there's bad faith actors on both sides that are using it for their own political ideology. On one side, of course, saying, why are you virtue signaling to this group of people? And then the other side is saying, no, bro, this has always been here. No, it's on the cover. It's a prism. But they've worked it into the logo in a very extreme way. It's right out there, and they know what they're doing. They're not stupid. I mean, it's to be provocative. Really, it's to be provocative. And of course, people are going to argue about it, and it's going to start shit. So ultimately, the marketing team behind that did a good job, because it's got people, I bet it's being talked about on like whatever little Ben Shapiro's thing is. What is his thing? I don't know. That network he has there. I'm sure they're freaking out about it. But it's disingenuous to say, like, it's always been there, bro. There are kids like that don't know about who Pink Floyd. Most of TikTok probably have no fucking idea. And then you have those dummies that are like, no man, everybody knows Dark Side of the Moon. It's sold X amount of. I'd say no, you're wrong. You're gaslighting at that point. It wasn't. If you want to be inclusive to your fan base, which is what they're kind of virtue signaling for, that's not the way to do it. That's very divisive. Even if they put just the original artwork, because that wasn't the original artwork, the big giant rainbow right there, that takes up almost half of that image, like at least 30% of it, right? And your eye, everything else is dark, black, or gray. It goes right to it. They absolutely did that on purpose, and they know what they're doing. And yeah, of course, like always, both sides are retarded. Because if you're in that game, if you're in that partisan game, like Team Blue or Team Red, you gotta fucking get your head out of your ass. You gotta get your head out of your ass. Some people can't. I understand. Some people are robots, system tools, NPCs on steroids. There's no way. They can't. They're just gonna take the prompts from the system, from the OS, and you have to deal with those people. Always treat them nicely, treat them as if they were real like us. But there are people that aren't system tools, that maybe it's because they're emotionally so bought into it, it's a big part of their life, so they have to keep that horizontal pursuit, because it's definitely a horizontal pursuit. This is the elevator of truth right here. Well, not this actual elevator. This is probably the elevator to the parking garage. But if you get on this elevator, you go up. If you choose a side in the left-right paradigm, you get off the floor, called idiot ping pong, and you start walking around, and one side of the floor is yelling at this side, "We're number one." This side's like, "No, we're number one." And this side's like, "Guns for everybody." And this side's like, "A child relationship for everybody." You know, so they're both awful. There's a third way, or there's a fourth way, or a fifth way. You don't have to pick a side. And they'll try to tell you that too, like, you're a fence sitter, pick a side. No, I'm not gonna play your little game. Because once you pick a side, you bought into all the most extreme points of view of that side, and you're opposed to all the most benign points of view of the other side. It's retarded. It's like you don't have to do it. Don't make people think you have to do it. You don't. You absolutely don't. But people coming around, I think they're realizing it more and more. There is no political solution. Politics is just another thing to keep your eye off the ball. It's just like sports. It's just like movies. It's just like music. It's just politics and news are designed in a way to make you think, oh, this is real. Like if you watch fucking Godzilla in a movie attacking a city, you'd be like, oh, good movie. But then if they put the CNN banner at the bottom, you're like, holy shit, this is a Godzilla attack. Is it a Muslim Godzilla? You know, just fucking get out of that. Get out of that. You're smarter than that. I know you are, because I am, and I'm an average intelligence guy. If I could figure it out, you know, there's a lot of other C students out there that could figure it out. I like how I bumped myself up to C. I'm definitely not a C student. But, yeah, it's silly. It's silly. It's silly what they're doing. Well, I think we've taken a big enough lap. I'm on my way home. And, to try to get some of my end time sleep. End time sleep is a fucking problem lately. I don't know about you guys, but I'm catching an hour here, an hour there. Every like 4 days, I'll be lucky enough to go down for 6 to 8 hours. And I have really fucked up dreams. And a lot of us are going through it. We're all going through it, man. It's gonna be fine though. Like, you can't despair. Despair is Satan. Despair is the devil. He wants you to despair. There's nothing to despair about. We're all going to be fine. We're going to walk this shit right off. We're all going to be fine. Yeah, it's going to be some weird stuff. Yeah, of course. Of course. But just keep in mind that this is only a test. This is only a test. And it's not pass or fail. You can't win. You're not going to fail it. It's all about your behavior during the test. How good are you to the people around you? How true are your intentions? How much sin do you avoid? When can you recognize that the finger of the devil is reaching out toward you? You know, sometimes I feel that way when listening to Killing Joke. You know, like, is this a finger of the devil? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But I tell you, that What's This For album, it's fucking good, man. It's good. It's good as a piece of art. But if you listen to that and you can't feel that it's doing something to you, then you need a little bit more practice. I like to expose myself to shit like that, though. I've always kind of been that way. I know it's not the smartest thing to do, but I like to go up to the line, you know, and maybe sometimes a little bit over, just so I can. It's just like when your immune system. It's good to have it to get infections sometimes, to try to to try to make sure you keep it on its toes. Listening to Killing Joke is like keeping my spiritual immune system on its toes. That'd be a good quote for whenever they fucking make a new album. They gotta get that shit going. Don't blame the teacher, blame the school.